Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lynn and this is Life with Lynn. Please excuse me if my voice sounds a little scratchy or froggy or other farm animal-y because I'm currently fighting off a cold. It is going around, it's the end of winter, so colds happen. I'm just glad it's not the flu. I want to apologize for my background again. I still don't have like a really good setup, so I'm just kind of sitting on my bed and, well, not kinda, I am. And while it's not exactly like professional or anything, I'm not professional. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so like it's not a big deal. But also, I don't know, I feel like it's more one-on-one. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about something a little different than my last couple of videos. Those have been about my personal journey and experiences going through the bariatric surgery process. This video is going to be a little different in the fact that it's not going to be about my bariatric journey exactly, although it still will have aspects of my bariatric journey in it, just not as predominantly, because this is more of an opinion piece. Today we're going to talk about the difference between body positivity and fat acceptance. Now, for those of you who don't know what body positivity is, and you probably do because you're on the internet, body positivity is a movement that's really gained speed in the last few years, and it is exactly what it says on the can. It is about people, all people, from all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, all genders and religions, sexualities and whatnot, to come together and accept that you have a single body. That's it. You have a body, and it's the only body you're gonna get. And sure, you can change it, little things. You can gain a little weight or lose a little weight. You can get a tattoo or a piercing, cut your hair, grow your hair out, use makeup, don't use makeup, whatever. But in the end, that is your body. It is your default, and there's nothing wrong with it. And it teaches you how to properly sort of accept that, in the fact that you are perfect just in your default. You may feel like you're not, but you are. There's nothing wrong with you inherently. No one is inherently wrong. You are you, and you are the only you there is. And just by being the only you there is, that makes you unique. That makes you one of a kind, makes you special. And you should never hate yourself for being unique and one of a kind and special. And that's a fantastic way to live. That's a fantastic way to think. And one might think, okay, that sounds great, but I've heard a lot of really stupid things said in the name of body positivity. And you are correct, because there is an offshoot of body positivity known as fat acceptance. And if you don't know what fat acceptance is, well, type it into YouTube and you will find dozens upon dozens upon dozens of cringe compilations. And I'm not here to say whether or not those cringe compilations are right or wrong. People will make compilations. Things are cringy to some people, things aren't cringy to other people. To each is their own preference, you know? But that being said, I feel, as someone who's been in the body positivity community for, I think, I'm going to say about 4 years now, which isn't long comparatively to some of these people. but I personally feel, both as someone who's body positive and also plus size, that the fat acceptance part of the body positivity community is a problem. And the reason they are a problem is because the fat acceptance part of the body positivity community is made up of mostly, now not all, but I'm saying mostly one type of person. They are typically white females, and these people are usually over 300 pounds, which, I mean, I'm still just over 300 pounds. So I'm not shaming anyone. I'm not body shaming. I have no place to body shame. Well, I'm not exactly, you know. The thing with fat acceptance and what makes it so cringy is that they are an offshoot group of people from the body positivity movement that are giving the body positivity movement a bad rap by being so silly. People who tout fat acceptance feel like the world should be more accepting of fat people. And while I agree, yes, and most people in the body positivity community will agree that, yes, the world should be more accepting of fat people. They should be more accepting of very thin people. They should be accepting of tall people and short people and people with physical ailments or differences, whether it be a skin condition like vitiligo, or, you know, whether they're paraplegic or someone who has dwarfism or Down syndrome, or someone who got into an accident and is an amputee. No one would deny that the world should be more accepting of people who don't fit into that mold that you're told you're supposed to fit into your whole life, thanks to Hollywood TV, music, magazines, all of that crap that we're all fed and told to emulate. So that I don't disagree with. Where I disagree, and where I think most people in the body positivity community disagree with the fat acceptance movement, is that the world should change and cater to plus size people. And that's not going to happen. Fat acceptance is about getting mad because an airline charges you for 2 seats if you weigh 600 pounds. It's about getting mad that you can't go into a Forever 21 or a Zara or an H&M and whatnot and find your size. And of course you can't. If you're a plus size person, you can't walk into a fast fashion retailer and expect to find your size there. They cater to the highest demand of consumers. And yes, even though there is an epidemic going across the Western world currently of obesity and morbid obesity and super morbid obesity, particularly in America, Canada, and Great Britain, just because there are a lot of us, that does not make us the majority. We are still the minority, and we will always be the minority, I feel. I don't feel that the world's going to turn into WALL-E and everyone's going to be morbidly obese, sitting in floating chairs, just eating and watching television. I mean, God, if that is, just end me now. That sounds horrible. You can't, and you shouldn't, expect to walk in to one of these fast fashion stores and expect to find a size 5X t-shirt or dress or a size 30 pair of pants. That is just not feasible. That's firstly not financially feasible whatsoever. My dog. That's not financially feasible whatsoever. You can't possibly cater to every single size person. You couldn't walk into a Forever 21 and see that it carries from 00 to 6X. That would cost so much money. And yes, I know the CEO of Zara is like one of the most richest men on the planet, and he could easily do that. But you know how he became one of the richest men on the planet? Probably he was born into it, but also by not wasting money on the small groups of people who are shouting, carry 6X. No, that's what Torrid is for. That's what Pennington's is for. That's what Additionelle is for. These are all plus size stores that carry fantastic clothing, beautiful clothing, clothing that is very, very young. I mean, Torrid is an offshoot brand of Hot Topic, so it caters very much to the young people who are plus size. Additionelle, which I'm not sure if that's in America. I'm here in Canada. Additionelle is a plus size store that caters to plus size people who happen to be shorter. And Pennington's, again, I'm in Canada, so it's here. I'm pretty sure it's in the UK too. I'm not sure. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's in the UK. Pennington's is a plus size store that caters to taller women. And the fat acceptance argument is that we shouldn't need specialty stores. All stores should carry sizes for us. Again, not financially feasible. It's also not like just feasible as a store, unless it's a giant department store. Think about when you walk into one of these, like when you walk into H&M. Yeah, it's kind of a big storefront. It's usually only one floor. Think about that. If you had to carry every size on the planet, all genders, in one store, that store would be huge, particularly when you start dealing with larger size clothing, because a 5X and a 6X, they take up more space on shelves and hanging racks, and they would need to double their floor space just to accommodate that. And it's not possible. It's not feasible. The fat acceptance movement shouts and yells that it should be, it should change it, it's time to change it. We are perfect the way we are. And you know what? Yes, you are perfect. You're beautiful. No one said that you're not beautiful. You can be beautiful at any size. Anybody can be beautiful. Everybody is somebody's type. That's not what this is about. This is about getting mad because a theater doesn't have a seat big enough for a 600-pound person to sit in. That's because most people aren't 600 pounds. And they have to cater to the largest demographic. And getting mad because you are not part of that demographic is silly. And people can say, well, it's unfair. I shouldn't have to lose weight to fit in. No, you're right. You shouldn't have to change to fit in. But you also need to be realistic in the knowledge that the world is not going to change to accommodate you. Because at the end of the day, that's not how the world works, unfortunately. They will never have a plane that will accommodate a 600-pound woman. There will never be a clothing store that sells size 2 jeans and size 40 jeans hanging next to each other on the rack. The fact that the fat acceptance people are so loud and taking away from such good intentions that the body positivity community is doing, it saddens me, because they're making it harder for the true pioneers in the body positivity community to be heard. Because body positivity is for everybody, because everybody has a body. It's for men and women and young and old and fat and thin and tall and short and all races, all religions, all sexualities. It's for everybody. It's to tell you that if you don't want to change, then that's cool. And if you want to change, that's also really cool. And you're allowed to do both, and you're perfect for doing both. But never let anyone pressure you into doing it. Do it for yourself. As long as you're happy, healthy, and honest with yourself and the people around you, then there's no reason you can't live your life. And that's where my bariatric story comes in. When I got into the body positivity community, I was low. I was so down. And these people that I met through it helped me realize that I could get bariatric surgery if I wanted it. I was strong enough to do it. Hell, it was my choice. It was no one else's choice, and I could do it if I wanted to. And there was nothing wrong with wanting to do it. And they were right, and I did it. But you know what the people in the fat acceptance offshoot would say to that? That I'm a liar, that I'm just trying to fit in, that I'm vain, that I don't need to be skinny to be beautiful. And first of all, let's face it, I'm never going to be skinny. Someone who is my size is never going to be a size 2. That's not possible. But I never said that I didn't think that I was pretty, as, narcissistic as it sounds. I just wasn't happy with the way I was. My hips were starting to hurt. My back was starting to hurt. I didn't have any real health problems, but it is scientifically proven that morbid obesity leads to health problems and occasionally death. And no amount of yelling about being accepted and being beautiful, no matter your size, is going to change that. You can call yourself gorgeous. You can call other heavy people gorgeous. You can say the plus size community is beautiful and perfect just the way it is. All of that is never going to change the fact that if you're a 5'3", 600-pound person, you are unhealthy. Being pretty isn't going to save your life. It's not going to stop blood clots from happening in your legs because you become immobile. It's not going to stop lymphedema from growing on your extremities. It's not going to stop you from having sleep apnea. It's not going to stop you from having breathing problems just moving. It's not going to stop you from dying. Loving yourself is great, but it's not a cure-all. You can love yourself, but it's not going to stop illnesses from creeping up on you. It's not a Band-Aid. It's not a magic shot. I love myself. I'm content with myself. I'm happy with who I am, who I'm becoming, and I look forward to meeting who I am in the future. But if I got sick tomorrow with an illness, God forbid, I also know that me being happy and content with myself wouldn't fix it. So that's why I think fat acceptance is so problematic, is because it's telling people who are digging their own grave that that's okay. Keep digging. And if someone had told me that when I was in my early 20s, when I was over 500 pounds, I'd be dead. because it just would have been an excuse for me to keep eating and eating and eating until one day my parents found me dead in my bed, and the fire department would have had to have broken down a wall to get me out of my apartment. What about that is positive? That's not what body positivity is about. Body positivity is about keeping yourself healthy and happy and honest. It's about being able to change, but changing for yourself, no one else. It's about not giving in to peer pressure. If you're healthy and you're bigger, then stay healthy and big. If you're healthy and you're smaller, stay healthy and small. Don't listen to people who tell you you need to eat a cheeseburger, you're too skinny. Or, oh my God, you'd be so pretty if you just lost 50 pounds. Screw them. That's what body positivity is about. It's about being happy with who you are, as long as you're not hurting yourself. And fat acceptance is just about hurting yourself. And if you need any more proof of that, there are many channels right here on YouTube that you can see that happening. Mostly women, mostly white, all of them slowly committing suicide via food. And I was doing that once too, but not anymore. And I partially have body positivity to thank for that. But I know that none of it was fat acceptance. It was all body positivity. Well, I know that was a different video than usual, probably a little controversial, because I know that two sides of that community are very, very, they fight with each other a lot about it, about who's right, who's wrong. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the subject. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let's have a conversation. Leave it down in the comments and we will talk about it. I will also leave my social medias in the description below, both my Twitter and my Instagram. I post there almost every day, so that is the best way to keep in touch with me in between my uploading. As per usual, I still don't have a schedule, but I'm hoping to get into one in the coming weeks. Subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my videos. Hit the bell icon to keep notified for when those videos are uploaded, and I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Bye.